Hey, hey, If you know, I'm usually the first one to come on, so I am just waiting for my ladies to come on so we can start this week's episode of Not Your Typical Girl Talk, and here they are.
Girlfriend.
Hey.
What is up?
I'm over here feeling myself a little bit.
Absolutely. How you doing? As you should.
You guys look nice.
This is,
look at you.
As usual.
You
know what? Looking
I'm trying.
You gotta get through it, right? Trying to get through it.
Just smiling through it all.
You got to, you just...
Say, what has it been? Week 6, week 7? I stopped up.
This is the 8th weekend, eh?
Girl.
The 8th weekend.
This is not even... Let me turn this up a bit.
I haven't been counting, clearly. So yeah.
We've literally been in our houses forever.
It feels like it. Like the whole thing feels like one big long day. That's what it feels like. A day that doesn't end.
You have to sort of remind yourself. Like today, I could have easily got up and thought, "Oh, today's Monday." I have to remind myself of the days. Like, you wouldn't be shocked if Kirsia didn't show up one day for Not Your Typical Girl Talk, and then be like, "Oh, wait, what? What day is it?"
Today's Saturday.
Oh, oops.
That's the crazy part. So I'm actually excited for this week's topic. I think it's going to be a very interesting one, and it's funny because in the background I'm watching what would be considered probably the original Black AF, which is the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Right.
And
we were talking about
that. We were talking about that. We were talking about the Cosby Show. We were talking about... There's a lot of
even
shows.
Moving on up.
The Jeffersons. Even 227. They were kind of living it up in their own way.
They were.
Or
they
227 and stuff like that. Yeah. They were living it up.
Yep.
So that's the interesting part, because we start going back and realizing there were so many shows that talked about privilege in our community, and still here we are, for some of these shows 40 years later, and we're still acting as brand new, like, again, being rich and black don't go together. So, such a crazy concept, right? So, for those who are new, we should probably introduce ourselves, because I always forget that part every week. We assume that people know who we are, but they don't yet.
It's like,
so, we'll start with...
How do they not know who we all are?
I know, right? So, we'll do a 10-second intro each.
Cool. So, my name is Kirsia Campbell, and I am the sister of this young lady, Tully.
Hi!
Besties with the lady above me.
What?
And I used to be in the corporate world, left the corporate world, went into my own businesses. So now I'm a multi-entrepreneur. We have an online store. I run a mindfulness company, and Not Your Typical Girl Talk is a part of, I would say, a media company.
Yeah.
So, we've got lots of things going on. That's who I am.
Yep. Hi, my name is Chantel Telly. I am a health and wellness advocate. Yes, I work along with my sister and my sister from a distance right now, but one day, y'all, we're all going to be together.
Right?
Again. And that day is coming very soon. I really hope, Jesus. I also have multiple companies and businesses with my sister here, as she mentioned before. So I'm not going to bother repeating it because I don't want to take up time, because this is a good episode. So I'm going to pass it on to my sister, Sheba. Sheba!
Woohoo! I am Toshiba Billings. People call me Sheba. Just like my two ladies, we were all in the corporate world as of the beginning of this year, and then we all left for various reasons, and we now have our own company. So, of course, Not Your Typical Girl Talk. I also run a consulting company that's for minority-owned businesses, and I am writing books. So I actually have 2 books that are currently available on Amazon. Out of a series that will be 6 books. Yeah, this is the second one.
Somebody came to our door on Friday, not long after the message. We were like, where's our book? We ordered it, and then look what we got. We got this amazing book. We're like, oh, who's this foxy lady, though?
Amazing! I got yesterday. So I'm super excited. Super excited. I'm currently studying to get into the development world. So I am reading a bunch of books right now to start doing some development projects and hopefully get into that very, very soon.
Yes, girl, I just love this. We're all just leveling up. Well, this is what the episode is about, right?
Thank you.
I want to get into the topic. I know, she's there. I'm like, okay, so that's the topic. So, yeah. I'm so excited about this topic because, so I know for the three of us, we love the show.
That show's bomb. Black AF.
Black AF is literally one of the best things to happen to Black
so great
sitcoms.
I love it.
In a very long time.
Absolutely.
Very long
Probably since, and then I wouldn't say Atlanta, it's funny, but Atlanta's not a sitcom, really.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is, for a while, we haven't seen a show like this. Yeah, actually, probably since Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the shows that are Black these days are, hour-long dramas. And this show, I remember seeing the preview, and I was like, what is this madness? And now that we're watching the show...
Oh my God, we're addicted, girl.
I watched all the episodes.
So I think it's funny, and it's funny because I find that a lot of the people that I've been talking to are, mostly Canadians, and they love the show. They think it's great. They're like, yes, this is the show we need right now. Like, it's a great show. But I do find that, it could be a media thing. It could be a media thing, but the media keeps on bringing up how can it be Black AF and this, that, and the other. There's too many light-skinned Blacks on there, which Black doesn't have anything to actually do with skin tone. So that's another show.
Another show.
Let's stop the colorism. Let's stop the colorism. We are lucky that all these Black people are getting checks.
Hallelujah.
Thank you.
For acting. I am sure if you talk to them and found out how many times they've auditioned for things and never got it, they are very happy to be on this awesome
They're just happy to have a job.
show.
They're just happy to have a job.
Right. Here's the best part about it, though, which is what baffles me, is that this is about this man's real life. Simple.
And that's what is great
real life.
about it.
And that's what's so cool. Exactly. That's what's so cool. He's showcasing his life. And for God knows what reason, Black people have a problem with it.
Some Black people.
Because it shows privilege, and we're not okay with privilege. We apologize all the time for privilege. This is why terminology is like,
that I'm off.
Thank you.
I'm sorry that I have a bit of money.
So let's start with that topic, that idea. So the one thing I did notice, even as a child watching The Cosby Show, is a lot of Black people would say, this is not realistic because don't worry, our house is not burning.
And if it is, well, these things happen in life.
The Cosby Show, a lot of people said, oh, there's no way that a Black doctor and a Black lawyer could actually get married, have children, and send them all to university
and colleges
and live in New York
in a brownstone house.
There is no way. That is not realistic. And Black people were the ones saying
that. Black people said that. Our people.
Not white people.
Black
people had a problem with Black people being seen as elite.
Isn't that dry? And what's interesting, though, we have problems with that. But when we watch, Juice with Tupac Shakur, we're all right with that, though.
Oh,
we're okay with
Top Boy.
We're okay with Top Boy. We're okay with Juice. We're okay with any gangster film that involves Black people and we get shot up or we're dealing drugs. We're all okay with that.
And it's such an interesting dichotomy. to think about that concept, because I have to, it's funny, I was talking to my mom this morning, and we're just going through memories of her and my dad. And for viewers, my dad has COVID, which is we won't talk about, but she starts bringing up memories of him when I was younger. Now, I grew up in Jamaica. I left Jamaica when I was 9 years old. The thing about Jamaica, if people don't understand, Jamaica is not a country that is racist, so it's definitely not a North America. It's definitely a United States. But Jamaica is classist.
Yes.
Very classist.
Yeah,
right?
Yes. You better be a nurse, a cop, or a lawyer.
Very classist.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
And there's the upper echelons of Jamaicans and not. Well, my father's side of the family was the upper echelon of Jamaica. So I grew up in a very nice home. My father drove a very nice car.
Right.
We had a backyard with amazing things. You know, I wanted for nothing. Right? Like, I really did as a child. I can't. My mother talks about, she's like, you didn't even wear clothes that came out of Jamaica. Your clothes were shipped in from Panama or the U.S.
Right.
So, you know, I had that side of my family. And then my mother's side of the family, so me coming to Canada was very different because my mother's side of the family were, we would say, the lower class. And that's, you know, I'm just saying it in terms of classes, right? So I've had the experience on both sides. I know what it's like to grow up in wealth, and I know what it's like to not grow up with a lot. And I think both of them certainly shaped me, but I'm telling you, wealth is better. Let's just be like, why would I want to be poor? I work hard.
Why would you glorify
so I don't, I'm not poor.
Well, that's the thing. Why are we celebrating being poor? What's the allure of being broke?
And we're supposed to applaud shows that showcase us in dire situations financially, but shows where we are shown in a very upper class, and not just upper middle class, upper class, okay, rich or wealthy or whatever it is. People say, well, that's unrealistic, or those people are bougie, or I can't relate to that.
So this is my thing. First of all, you know, if you are a person that's going to glorify not having enough, that's a problem in itself.
That is a problem.
They need your help. Yeah, they need to come help you. That's a problem in itself. But the problem is, I think, with Black people, because we've been so immersed in this idea of, you know, slavery, then being put in jail, then, you know, you can only do better than, you can't get out of the system, you're stuck in the system.
Right.
And now we are seeing a lot of new money being distributed.
Right.
So we have Black people that own basketball teams, football teams.
Kanye West just hit the billionaires club.
Like, we have designers that are Black. We have, you know, CEOs of major corporations that are Black. And, you know, diversity CEOs all over the world. So we are now tapping into, and we're considered new money because we're becoming billionaires off our own backs. We didn't inherit it from,
we didn't get the golden
our
spoon.
Trump dad, or, you know, whoever it is, Johnson & Johnson dad.
We didn't have a Kardashian father.
Yeah, we're not Paris Hilton. We're not, we are making it on our own. So the problem is that some of us are still in this crab in the bucket mentality, where it's like, how dare you try to get out of this bucket? You stand down here with us. And
I love how you put a Southern accent on.
Well, I know, right? I could have put a Jamaican one, but the thing is that I know, like you, Toshiba, you know, I've been called, even as a little kid, before I even knew what it meant, I was called whitewashed, and I didn't even know what it meant. And
what does that mean?
When we came home, and I would tell my mom, all the Black kids at school called me whitewashed, and she was like, just ignore that, don't. And I later on learned that, oh, she's whitewashed because she's wearing like nice clothes, and her mom drives up in, at the time it was a Delta 88.
It was an Oldsmobile, I think.
Yeah, and a Delta 88.
And a Delta 88, yeah.
And, you know, driving up in this big old car, you know, while other kids are getting off the bus, and they were like, oh, wow, she thinks she's better than us.
Yeah, because we wear nice clothes.
So
we have nice shoes.
That's that part that always baffles me, is that there is an association with, I think I'm better than you because I've acquired something. Like, that's a you thing. Like, that's on the other person.
Yep.
You're not going around saying that you're that person. It is. We're not going around saying, well, we're better than you and you.
No,
that's not a thing.
And none of us are.
None of us
Actually, I think that the problem, what people are doing is they're projecting their hate to say, it's not fair that I am not in that circle, or I don't have this and I don't have that. But the thing is that if you keep on sitting there hating on people that are working hard and acquiring blessings, acquiring good things, what's going to come of you? You're putting energy in the wrong place. You should be putting energy on me saying, wow, that's so cool that Kirsty's doing that. Wow, that's so cool that Sheba's doing that. That's awesome that she's done that. Wow, Telly got that new opportunity. That's awesome. When you start saying that, your world is going to change, and people that are living in their blessings are going to see you and help you up the ladder. That is why there are so many Black people that are still on the bottom, can't get out from
and they're still cussing
because they won't say, I need help, I want to acquire my Jay-Z, my Beyonce.
That's what we're good at. We're good at not saying what we want. We're good at just sitting there with our mouth closed and cursing under our breath.
Don't get fed. And you said two things, Garcia, that I want to hit on. Number one is a blessing. And it is a blessing, but it is something that we worked hard for. There's something like,
blessings do not come easy.
Thank you. And we talked about this in our show. God helps those who get up off their ass and helps themselves.
Hallelujah. Yes, girl. Let it be known. That's it. Opportunities don't fall.
You got up and you helped yourself. You did what was necessary.
That's so true.
You have to.
Thank you.
Right?
Sometimes you won't be able to go to the party. Sometimes you won't be able to go to the club. Sometimes you won't be able to go on that trip because you're building your empire. And then when you finally have acquired this blessing, then the same friends that were trying to drag you to come out and party with them in the first place, now they're turning against you because you built your empire. And now they're all jealous.
Yeah. And in the show Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you see a lot of examples of that where, like Will's friends, some of them were just like, you live in big now, and
living in Beverly Hills,
you think you're better than us,
or Bel-Air.
And even in a show like The Jeffersons, where that show is going way back, guys. I didn't even personally watch it when it was on air. My parents watched the reruns, and I've seen reruns. And they said that this show is the show that was basically, this is what led into The Cosby Show, which I'm more aware of.
Right.
But it was the idea that Black people were living in, like, on the penthouse floor in this beautiful New York apartment, and all the neighbors were white. And they had one other Black friend, a woman who was married to a rich white man. Yeah. And it was way before its time in everything. But this was a lifestyle where people were like, what kind of stupid shit is
Why are Black people rich? Why do they have money?
But if you went back into, I'm gonna actually say the second point because it's gonna lead into this point. What you said was very interesting in terms of the fact that we've acquired wealth. It wasn't given to us. We worked in order to get it. We didn't get a measly $1 million loan, like Trump said, from our daddy, right? It was, you started, people have started businesses with $50 in their pocket and did what they needed to do. And this was before social media.
Yeah.
So now with social media, pre-social media, whether it is that they bought land or they, started selling things, out of cars. I mean, look how many rappers we hear who are selling mixtapes out of the trunk of their cars and flea markets and making hats and doing all these different things. We work to acquire these things. And I don't understand why you shouldn't be proud of that. As a community, we should celebrate that because it shows our perseverance. Because to persevere through everything, we already talked about waking up Black is hard enough. Waking up Black, having to go through a system that will not give us a chance, banks that will not finance deals that we want to do, having to do all these things to get what you need to get to the next level. And when you get there, people look at you like, oh, she thinks she's nicer, she's better than us, she's so nice, she's so bougie, she's so this, she's so stush, she's this. There's all of these things that they throw on you instead of saying, oh my God, if she did it, I can do it too. Let me get her ear to find out how she did it.
I love seeing my people level up.
I love it. It
gives me hope.
What's it called? She did that.
She did that.
Netflix. I was literally like, I want to watch this 3 times in a row.
I loved it.
Because I loved seeing women that looked like me, literally taking the last $50 they had in their account to become a vendor at a little craft shop. And now they're selling companies to L'Oreal. That's huge. You're in Walmart, girl? You're in Target? Yes!
You're in Costco. You're making some serious coins.
But no, we have a lot of Black people that are sitting there saying, oh, they're whitewashed. They're whitewashed and they sold out.
Well, they probably
slept
with someone. They're just jumping to every dirty conclusion.
Well, that negative energy ain't going to get
you anywhere. So hard-earned work, we can't get paid for that? So he just wants to stay on the same level. All of us together as Black, just stay under the thumb of the white man. Just stay like that for the rest of our lives. And not even try to level up. Just to sit there.
This is the opportunity.
Like we're back in slavery.
Hey, Raquel! To be honest, POCs, people of color, this is our time.
Girl.
This is our time more than ever. We have finally gotten the opportunity to do some amazing things in this world, to own companies and run them by our minds. We don't have to depend
our minds,
on
our standards.
This platform that we are on right now, broadcasting, Instagram, it is actually a blessing. And if you talk to some people, they would say, thank God for Instagram, or else I would not have the business that I have, right?
Girl.
And rather than trying to find our way, we're sitting there hating on each other. And that is not going to get us
anywhere. All it's gonna do is just give you crow's feet, because you keep on making your face like this when you see other black people rise up. Look at her.
Yeah, and then fix
your face, yo, and be happy.
Thinking of the show, Black AF, it even touches on the fact that how people are still not really used to seeing
black people
with wealth.
That's true.
Like the main character, he's wearing, designer leisure suits every day. He's obsessed with Jay-Z. He thought he saw Jay-Z at the convenience store or
Taco Bell,
whatever. He drives a beautiful car, has a beautiful home.
Fast and the Furious.
And the first thing they did, they attach him to a negative stereotype. People racing cars and doing drugs.
Yeah. Right?
So the show, in my mind, is actually making it aware that there is a problem with people thinking that, the only possible way a black person or a person of color can make so much money is if they're doing something illegal.
They must be doing drugs. They must have a prostitution ring somewhere.
Which is so wrong. Right? And you just said the name, because I have a quote here, and I'm going to pull my light.
Laptop. Please do. Please do.
If, I'm a fan of Jay-Z, and on the 444 album, the 444 album, I remember the first time I heard the 444 album and I heard this song and he dropped this line, I was done. I was just like, drops mic, I'm out of here. I don't need to know the rest of the album. So it's from the story of Jay-Z. And basically what he says, I am no rapper, so forgive me, everybody, but he basically says, financial freedom is my only hope. Fuck living rich and dying broke. I bought some artwork for $1 million. 2 years later, that shit worth $2 million. Few years later, that shit worth $8 million. I can't wait to give this shit to my children. Y'all think it's bougie. I'm like, it's fine, but I'm trying to give you $1 million worth of game for $9.99. I dropped the mic. I was like,
that's everything. That is literally everything.
Right?
The show could end just like that.
Yeah, that could have been
right. It was like drop the mic. Because that's exactly what he did. There is this idea that acquiring wealth makes you bougie. And the fact that he said it, I was like, yes, because that is this thing that, now you're bougie now. Now you're this. Funny? Now you think you're better.
You know what's funny about that whole thought is that I'm just here and I'm thinking about all of the things that I try to do for the betterment of the world. Donating money to certain children's programs, donating
different charities,
different charities. And I am doing this, as, a middle class female living off her own dime, working as hard as she can. And I always say, I'm like, man, I can't wait to have money so I can walk into Sick Kids and be like, look, because Sick Kids has saved my life many times. Go in there with the stripper gun. Sick Kids on the side. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to be able to give the amounts of money that Jay-Z, Beyonce, Bill Gates, and all of these, Oprah built her own bloody school.
Absolutely.
I would love to know that I did that for this planet. But how am I supposed to do that if I'm poor?
Well, broke and you have no money.
How much good can I do?
What is it? You have
because you're walking into
apparently a lot.
We're gonna throw Monopoly money. Like
Rihanna gave $5 million, and then another $5 million to the COVID-19 research.
Yeah, she wants to help find a cure.
She is helping all of us by giving money. how much money can I give for them to really get far with this study? Not $5 million, but because I know that that is what I want, because I'm putting those intentions out there and I'm really working on manifestation. One day I am going to do that.
Yes, Raquel.
Yeah.
I love that one too.
Boss by the Carters, where he basically talks about if they're the only one richest in the crew, it basically doesn't make any sense, because the whole concept of being rich is to level up and bring everybody else up.
You know what's
right? I should have actually gotten those lyrics too, and I heard that song too, and I said that's the way it's supposed to be. That mentality of we all should. If I'm eating, everyone
should be eating.
I would love to one day be like, yes, I've made all this money, and I'll always love media. I would have a studio.
Tyler Perry.
I would have a studio. I would bring everyone that I know is a good business person, a great person, and bring them on and showcase them so the whole world can get to know them. No one is going to sit there in their richness by themselves, like,
when you're the Great Gatsby.
No one's going to do that.
Sitting there, you're the only one that's rich. Everyone else is just using you. And
no one's going to do that. Like, these people, they usually look for people to bring up the ladder with them. This is why they start record labels. This is why they start other companies where they can hire people. They're not sitting in their high glass tower by themselves trying to
looking down.
Company. Who wants to be rich and alone?
Right? We're not looking down and saying, "Oh, you poor people." Like, that's not a thing.
Right now, I have outstretched, reaching out all the time, trying to see, wow, do you need help? How can I be a resource? How can I do something? Thank you, Regal. I love you. You're awesome. Like, it can happen, but the problem is, as long as we have this thing in our mind where we believe, no, wait, I can't do that because I'm going to lose all my friends, because if I become rich or if I acquire a lot of wealth, I'm going to lose, I'm not going to have the
wrong friends
around
me. Isn't that just sad too?
Wrong
friends. You're holding back your shine because your crew wants you to stay with them in the bucket. And that's just
get rid of those friends.
Exactly.
Simple.
They're not your
it sounds terrible. Get rid of those. Are not your real friends, because your real friends want to see you get to that next level. Your real friends want to make sure, because again, your real friends know if you're going up, you should be elevating everybody. And if you don't want to, then we're just in different places in life, and that's fine. It's I'm no better than you. You're no worse than me. We're in different places in our life because I want to get to another place. I'm a mother. I know if I'm just in one level, what does that say for my daughter? We're just all going to be in the same generation. It's just the same level of wealth for every single generation. Mm-hmm. That doesn't make sense. The whole especially being an immigrant. I'm an immigrant. My mother brought me here so I could do better, not worse. Exactly. My mother didn't bring me here to stay at the same level that she's at. That would make no sense. And quite frankly, back home in Jamaica, I had a lot more money. So, to come into Canada was a downgrade for me. It simply was. I lived in a great house. I had a good life. My father had a lot of money. And then he even moved to North America, and our life changed. So coming to Canada for me was a downgrade. It actually was not an upgrade for me financially.
Thing too, Sheba. That's the interesting thing. A lot of, because in Africa, you have kids driving Lamborghinis. They have servants serving them. It's coming to America with Eddie Murphy. They're getting bathed by these gorgeous people.
I do have one
and then they come here, and it's
I do have a Nigerian friend. He's amazing and incredibly smart and brilliant. And he shows me videos or photos of the family home in Nigeria.
I'm sure it's a palace.
It's literally a palace. You would think that they are doing drugs, but no, his parents are scientists and they've become very successful in doing things there. And he is also brilliant as far as data collection and things like that. Long story as to how I know him. But anyways, they are incredibly rich out there. And
as soon as they come here,
he came here and he was like, "Yeah, it was a total no more butler, no more maid, no more designer clothes, none of that."
His parents come as well?
No, his parents are still out there. They love their life,
living their best life.
They're like,
they're not living their palace.
They got butlers and maids.
Girl, I want a butler and a maid.
So people really knew the history, they would actually realize a lot of us came from wealth. And coming to North America and coming to this new world introduced us to another way of living. And for many of us, this ain't the way we wanted to live. And therefore, we put every effort in to ensure that we would acquire the wealth that we needed to get back to the level that our families came from. So that, again, generationally, we would do better. And there's nothing wrong with that mindset. I'm just very confused about our people while we have this poverty mindset.
Right.
Like being poor equals being black. It does not.
I don't get that equation. I don't correlate. I'd love for someone to dissect their minds, find out how they got to that equation, and how they're okay with that.
Well, they're okay with it because their mindset is stuck to believe that. So just to bring in a bit of coaching here, Regal, you know what I'm going to say. So between the ages of 0 and 7, that is when, you know, our brains are very much like computers. And that's when we download all the information that's going to take us through the rest of our lives. Now, between the ages of 0 and 7, we are downloading that information. And then between 7 and 14, we start modeling what we've heard. Right. But the problem is that we learn these things and we don't even really know it's in our head until we get to adulthood. Yeah. And we start acting out. So for most black people, this is the problem. Because I've heard my mom even say it. She's like, yeah, you know, my parents are like, we not have no this. We not have no this. Sorry for anyone out here who does not speak Patois. You have no idea what I'm saying. But basically what I'm saying is, as a child, even when they have it, because my mom was like, my mother was always going on like we didn't have any food, but every night,
full of food.
Big plate of food. So she would tell her children, we don't have enough. We lack, but we're blessed. And, you know, the meek shall inherit the earth. Money is evil. We hear these things between the ages of 0 and 7. And as black people, you know already, we're embedded into that speech, that sort of caliber of speech. And, you know, rich people don't go to heaven, all of this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And because that's embedded in our head, we get to the point where it's like, oh, no, being rich,
money is bad.
That's bad.
Being rich is a sin.
You know, yeah, like, yes, Donald Trump is a horrible person because of his character, but his money, you know, it has a lot to do with the way he is. But if he had a better character, I wouldn't hate on him. No, but his character sucks.
He's a sucky person.
He's a sucky person. Now, you know, you think of all these other people that are rich, like Beyonce, Jay-Z, and we're all like, yeah, how comes they deserve it and you don't?
Ooh! Let's say that one again, girl.
Why is it okay for Jay-Z and Beyonce?
Who?
Jay-Z and Beyonce. Why is it okay that they made $200 million last year and it's not good enough for you? Like, why is it good enough for them and not you? Why are they still considered black elite with the $200 million and you get a raise and everyone says, oh, you're so whitewashed.
You don't deserve that. You're black. You're whitewashed. But what did you do to get that raise?
Okay.
It's like so hard work.
And Drake is putting out music, and people are like, oh my God, Drake, make that money. Like the mindset that you need to have, like it's okay for certain groups, not okay for other groups. Like this, enough.
Right.
If you want something, go after it. Go get it. Go with all of your might. And when you acquire the wealth, you are to be celebrated.
Absolutely.
Okay. If you're not celebrating.
Celebrate your friends. Celebrate those that level up because they're showing you the door.
So one of the issues I had that I didn't even actually know I had, and I talked about this with my coach and mentor, and she's the one that realized it. She was like, what did you do for your birthday? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, some years I'll go on a trip, but most of the time, like, I don't have parties. I don't do that. And, you know, she was like, there's your problem. She's like, you don't celebrate your wins. She's like, when's the last time you celebrated that you did something? Let's say you finished something. She's like, when's the last time you planned a party with 15 people around a table, held up a glass to yourself and said, I did this. And she opened I was like, oh, hell. I was like, that's my problem. She's like, yes. She's like, you're not looking at yourself at the full value that you are at.
That's it.
You don't value yourself.
No.
She's like, you think you value yourself, but you're not, because you're not celebrating yourself.
That part.
It's like a self. I'm not saying you don't self-hate, but it's like
Right.
like you were
It's
saying
almost
before,
like self-hate
with
in a
black
way.
people, it's like we hate ourselves so much. Then we see others that look like us, we just spew our hate on them. And when they try to level up, we get angry that they're trying to, make their lives better. And we don't like that because we hate ourselves. So we're dragging them down so they can hate themselves too.
Yeah.
And now you want them to apologize. Like, if, going back to Black AF, it's very interesting. If you haven't watched it, I'm going to spoil a little bit of the first episode for you. But you remember when they came out of the restaurant and he was driving, I think it was a Lamborghini. It's either a Lamborghini or Maserati or whatever.
You can't miss it.
Like, you can't miss the car. It is beautiful and it is amazing and I want one. And so he comes out and the valet brings his car and I think it's it's the producer for, is it oh my god,
what was it again?
Was it?
Was it for Avatar or was it for
No. The show with the Modern Family. Modern Family.
Yes.
I was like, oh my god, what's the name of the show? So it's like the guy who does Modern Family and a bunch of other stuff, and he basically comes out, white guy, and he comes out, and Kenya starts kind of apologizing a little bit for his wealth because my dude has a Prius, right? Yeah. Horrible car.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Yes. It's okay, to each their own.
Right? And Kenya now it starts questioning, am I too flashy? He wants to sell his chain because it might be too much, and it's too he starts questioning his wealth. But the reality, dude, I was like, dude, you worked for this.
That's it.
You listen. As much I'm not a Gucci, Fendi, Prada. You will never see me. My body adorned with any of those products. That's just me personally. And I think it's tacky if you have on full Gucci head to toe. It's just like, why are you a billboard for someone else? But that's just me, whatever. Right? I think, items should be understated. However, if it is that you're in a position to be able to acquire these goods and have a nice car and live in a nice home because you've worked hard, why should you then apologize? Why do we constantly feel like we need to apologize? And we say things like, and I'm guilty of it all the time when my daughter says something, I'm like, that's a first world problem. But we live in the first world with first world problems.
Okay.
And first world, in the city of Toronto, our first world problem is we're going through COVID-19 and people cannot survive on the $2,000. God bless our government. But the reality is living in a city like Toronto is hella expensive. So yes, it is a first world problem that we're encountering because we live in a city that is not affordable. And when you're going through this, you start going, so you can't, I'm not going to apologize for having to deal with first world problems when I live in a first world. But we often are like, that's a first world problem. Oh, you can't, that's a first world problem. And it's a lot of the people in our community do that. We need to apologize because we've acquired something. And now that we're complaining about it, it's, that's a first world problem. You don't realize what's going on in other parts of the world. Well, dude, I don't live there.
I don't live in the depths of the outback. I don't know their problem.
That's a problem.
I know my problem.
Right. That's a problem too with people. We don't realize that everyone's experience in life is different. And I'm gonna be a bit. People are gonna say this is bougie, but before,
don't apologize for it.
But I'm not apologizing.
Don't apologize
I'm saying
for
it for
it.
a reason.
Yeah.
But before COVID-19, I was going out almost every night to very well put together events, getting free products, living the life as someone that has some influence, and I was enjoying that. I enjoy my life pre-COVID.
Yep.
Right? I was having a good time.
I miss my life pre-COVID.
I miss my life. I miss dressing up. I miss doing all these things.
I want
and
my
I miss
heels
the
on.
opportunity. I miss that privilege.
I want us to go out for dinner like we used to.
I miss that privilege of being able to go to really nice restaurants with my friends. Hey, Toshiba. And
right? This show is basically our dinner combo.
I miss those opportunities where, I would meet friends and it's like, hey, let's go to Cactus Club. Let's go to Joey's. Yeah, let's go to that. Let's go to Bisha. Let's go to Cost. I miss that life. I miss the Thompson Hotel life.
I miss traveling.
Right? Miss traveling. All of that. And you cannot come here now and say that,
that's a first world
bougie and you don't know what it's like to back
in my day.
Well, listen, I am sorry that I have worked my ass off. You were not there when I was sitting there till 3 a.m. in the morning working on my business. You weren't there.
You weren't there to see the tears coming down my eyes, rolling my eyes out, wondering, did I make the biggest mistake of my life?
Seeing me in college, sleeping at school in the editing room, sleeping on the floor to get my assignments done. Were you there? Nah. And you didn't pay for it either.
You weren't
so
there.
You have no right to tell me what my experience is and what it should be.
There you go, because not everyone's experience is the same. But for some reason, we're expected to have that same mindset. And it brings me back, I won't name, but we're in several Facebook groups. And there's one particular Facebook group that we are all collectively in.
Yes.
That there is this crabs in a bucket mindset that it is okay to promote things that kind of keep us down a little bit, but the moment you're talking about anything that elevates, people start calling you bougie, anything you do good, and this, that, the next thing, and I'm like, the whole point is to elevate us as a community. The whole point. And so then people get upset when people start these little elite little cliques, right? And we've said, I used to talk about, I've had, the whole black elite in the city and this idea of the black elite. And then more and more I started going, okay, you know what? I start seeing why there needs to be an elite. Because at the end of the day, if I cannot be around people who are going to applaud my success, then I'm in the wrong room. Because if I am doing great things and people are going to say, oh, really, you think you're nice now because you're doing that? That's not the room for me. No. I want to know that there are people who are doing as good or better than me, so I aspire to be greater.
Exactly.
Right? And that's what we need to do. My daughter is going to be in rooms with people who inspire her to be greater. And I should be the very first person she looks at who inspires her to be greater. And that's what you want. You want to be I don't want to I don't want to be in a room where I'm the prettiest. I don't want to be in a room where I'm the smartest. I don't want to be in a room where I'm the richest. I don't want to be in those rooms. I want to be in rooms where I'm looking at people thinking, I want more.
Yes.
I want more. Look, oh my God, their story is so inspiring. Let me go home and implement these strategies to get me to that next step. Not, oh, girl, she's telling the story. She thinks, and I'm whispering to you guys over the side, oh, she must think she's nice because, girl, that's not how we're going to get to the next level.
Yeah. Even as sisters, let's talk about even sisters. Guys, we're going to take a second to just talk about us girls and how we relate to each other sometimes. Sometimes we all need to stop the foolishness.
We do.
You will be you go into some events or some room where there's more than 3 black girls, and you're there and you hear one of them.
Yeah. So now
look at her unit. Her unit must have cost her like $2,000. She thinks she's better than everybody else.
Look at her little shoes.
Coming up in here thinking she's better than everybody else.
Look at her going to the front. What's she trying to prove?
Yeah.
What's she doing at the front?
And what the problem is here is that our so-called oppressors are not saying that.
Doing that.
We're oppressing ourselves. We're the oppressors.
Like, why are we doing this to ourselves?
Why are we oppressing each other?
As I look at my watch.
Like, how much time do you have?
We hate ourselves, and I think that's actually the root of the problem.
We hate ourselves. Not us. We all love each. We love ourselves.
We are okay with the fact
They
that
hate
people
themselves.
think that, oh, the best a black person will ever do is Top Boy. You know, that's the best we'll ever see from a black community is what we see happening in the Top Boy TV show on Netflix. And it's like, no, we're not just out here dealing drugs.
No.
We own companies. We are developing properties. We are creating businesses to bring people up. We are having our own music labels, our own
music festivals,
our own TV shows, our
own beauty products, our own
everything.
Camps, our own.
And we should be applauded for that, because the reality is you do not know the work that goes behind to be able to get to that level. We already are starting way behind. Okay, we're in relay block number 8, and we start 2 seconds after they shoot the gun. I used to run track, so like, you're the worst lane, and then you start later. You understand what I'm saying? And you don't see the work. I'm blessed to have a partner who does very well.
Right.
How I see how well he does, because he doesn't sleep.
Right. He works.
He literally sleeps maybe 3 hours a night, and it's annoying. He's working right now. He's constantly working. But at the end of the day, he's like, I'll retire in like 3 years and we'll be fine. But he worked all the, and sometimes to the point where last night I was like, can you get off the phone? We need to eat dinner. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, and he was sitting, I was giving him a side eye, but he literally is working all the time. And should we not celebrate?
Absolutely.
He worked hard by having I think we should.
These things. We should celebrate these things.
Just celebrate.
And we should celebrate these things, and we should make it known. You know, we should
make it known.
Don't be like, oh, I couldn't go on Instagram Live right now, but I don't want people to think
I don't want to offend anybody
right now, because right now I'm wearing a shirt that I worked my ass off, by the way, paid for it with my own money, but I don't want to go on because this shirt is like $500 and I don't want anyone. Why are you apologizing for doing
as long as you bought your $500 shirt and you still have money left over that you can still live a half decent life, go on, do your Instagram Live.
Because the funny thing is, no, go ahead. In Black as F, it was funny because they were talking about the fact that they already have to deal with, and he used the term, but I'm just going to call it the white stare, right? You already have to deal with the white stare of people kind of going, oh, they belong here? Oh, they you know what I'm saying? Like, you already had, and we still have that mindset. Like, we're house hunting right now. We went to go look at a lovely building. Amazing building, a penthouse unit. It's probably the most expensive unit. It's not me bragging. This is me telling you. The most expensive unit in the entire building. And we knew that going in there, we were gonna get this like, oh, they're coming to see this unit.
Oh yeah,
right? They're coming to. They're gonna do that. Oh, they're gonna come see this house. They want, like, there's all these.
They
we already have to deal with that, right? We already have to deal with that. To then deal with it in our community of, again, you've worked hard, you've gotten to the point. So we're dealing with the quote unquote white stares they call, and now we're dealing with people in our community who are berating us for making us feel bad because we acquired something.
Like, we worked so hard for. You're being shredded. Just for something that you worked for.
Yeah.
It's like, so why am I working so hard for this? So I can be shredded in the end?
Well,
like,
that's what they want.
That's what they want. Misery loves company.
It's sort of like a thing, like, there are certain things that get me sometimes, and it makes me kind of snap, and I always have to remember,
you control, you keep your composure.
Yeah, like,
compose yourself.
People will, hear me speak on the phone or whatever, and then they meet me, and they will read something that I wrote, and they'd be like, oh, that's really interesting. They meet me, and they're like, oh. And then, you know what I mean? Like, and they'll ask certain questions, and what they expect me to say, I don't say it. It's like, oh, actually, no, I'm from this place, and, this is I'm single, Oh, you mean you don't have children? They don't say you don't have a child.
Yeah, there's a child. There's children. Because we're supposed to have 6 kids behind us.
And I'm like, no, I don't.
So we're already dealing with that, right? You're dealing with that. You're dealing with you don't have
with these stereotypes that are put upon us, right?
Yeah.
While you are doing your best to be great. And I can take that from others because I'm used to it.
Yeah.
But I had to take this from
same
my own feet.
Thank you. And apologize for having made it. Like, it's a bad thing to have made it. It's a bad thing to have risen above the depths, and you go through the fire and you rise like a phoenix. We go through that all the time. We get burned through this process. This is not a easy process. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm wealthy by any extent. I'm far from it. But I've worked hard. I've worked hard to be in certain circles. I've worked hard to get certain invites. I've worked hard to be in certain rooms. And I'm never going to apologize it. And I continue to work hard because while others are sleeping, I'm awake.
Girl.
Thank you.
Girl.
Let it be known.
Trying to be better. Trying to achieve more. While people are saying they're bored at home, during COVID. People are saying they're bored at home during COVID. I don't have time to be bored. I've yet to be bored because I'm doing so much. I can't schedule boredom in my schedule.
Listen.
Right now,
someone even contacted me at 9 this morning to talk about June 27th.
Okay.
June 27th.
People, the world is still turning.
That far in the future. Like, I don't, like...
The world is still turning.
The world is still turning.
Deals are still being made.
And then when the world opens up, they're not going to be waiting for me to catch up. They're going to be like, okay, let's get back to it.
I didn't do anything because COVID is like, well, especially if COVID didn't affect you personally. You didn't catch it. So what's your excuse?
There is none. So it's a mindset. It's this, and the mindset, and I'm cognizant of the time we have 10 minutes, but this mindset that we have, and I like to call it the poverty mindset. We need to get out of the poverty mindset. We should want to acquire and achieve. Acquire wealth and achieve success. There is nothing wrong. Okay, there is not a bad thing for Black people to live in the suburbs. It's not a bad thing to own nice cars. We should actually, my boyfriend says something which I think is interesting. He's like, I work hard to bring up the next generation so it doesn't look any way when we all roll up in Lamborghinis or we're all in Bentleys. When people show up and they see 10 Black men coming out of Bentleys, it's not a foreign thing. So you work hard so you can bring up the rest. It's a foreign thing when there's one guy coming out of Bentley. But when you go in and you see 10, 20, 30, 40 guys with our different shades coming out, people look at us like, oh, that's just the norm now. And we need to make it the norm because in certain parts of the world it is.
Exactly.
It is the norm. There's many parts of the world where upward wealth is the norm. It's something about this North American culture and attitude where, yes, I get that there is all these problems, the rich and the taxes, and we can go through all these different things. But at the end of the day, you need to know that having money actually gives you some power. And you need some power to be able to make
that power.
And if you love, there are people out here that are saying, oh yeah, being rich is for evil people and bad people. Only rich people are going to be able to give money to certain causes.
To most causes.
You think Rihanna could have contributed if she had $0?
Okay.
The reason why
to help her country
still standing is because of rich donations from rich people. Like, hospitals depend very much so on rich people's donations. And I, again, would love to see my name on plaques in different museums and different places all over the world saying, wow, Carcia Campbell donated this much money and it's a part of my
goal, girl. I tell my boyfriend all the time, I'm like, I'm going to be a philanthropist.
Yep.
I'm taking 10%.
Listen, Mrs. Rogers,
10% of what you are.
Mrs. Rogers driving down in her Lamborghini.
Right? Like, Mrs. Rogers, you know what? She's doing it, so why can't I?
Why can't a Black person
Why can't we have a Black sister doing that?
Why not?
No, I want to be a philanthropist. Like, this is one of my many goals. I'm like, we'll make money and 10% of it, I'm going to create some charity to be able to give back to communities of color into the school system, building schools, building all of these amazing things. That is the way we make a difference. I'm going to tell you, we can make a difference with our voice, but the money is louder. I'm just going to be honest and straight.
And when I make
Money
money in this way that I want to make money, I will have something called time, because I'll be able to afford to leverage my time. And then I can go to schools myself and teach kids things that will help them with their mindset so they can understand what it is to be bullied, take that, and be okay.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because my boyfriend has, like, he's quarantined in the room because he can't pass here because then you guys can see him in the background. So he just came out and looked at me to see if I was done. We got fun.
We're almost done.
It's very fun. I think over the whole house. But no, that is the reality. And that's a great thing you said. It's funny because every book that I read talks about time. I talk about time. I talk about time when I, create, keys to being an entrepreneur. It is about time. Yep. When you have more time, it gives you the ability to do more.
Right.
And you don't get more time being poor because you're on other people's time.
You've got to have
get it on borrowed time, as Jamaican money. Get it on borrowed time. Right?
When you're poor, when you don't think about what you know. You're poor.
That's exactly it.
Your mindset's thinking, oh God almighty, how am I going to get money? Because you're poor. So there's no time for you to sit there and think, what can I do to get like $1 million to donate to sick kids? It's like, can you even pay your light bill right now?
Listen, when we all have money, right, we can hire people. People will live a good life because you are literally helping them build their life.
That's it, because you hire an assistant. Right. That assistant can now take their money and patronize.
Hopefully not be like bank assistants in Black AF.
Oh, God. Who doesn't get any pay?
This assistant, very funny. Very funny.
His kid's birthday.
Very funny. But there is something, is something to be said, because if you are building, you can build a company with people who look like you, who can go back and continue to build in their communities. Like, it is not a bad thing. No. Privilege and being Black is a great thing. Embrace it.
Yes.
Own it. Shout it out to the rooftops. Drive your nice cars, live in your nice homes, eat at your nice restaurants, do whatever you need to do. Because at the end of the day, it's the people that people are saying, oh, you guys are bougie, are the ones that we're giving back. They're the ones who want to make sure that others are eating. Because being hungry is not cool. Anybody want to be hungry? Okay,
I hate being starved.
I'm hungry right now, and I got plenty of food. And I hate being hungry. Right. So, no, you don't want to, baby. You're just going to be in the background? Okay, cool. There's the hand. I just covered.
He doesn't want to.
That's that. So we need to embrace privilege and stop acting like it's a bad word. And so shows like Black AF, shows, like Blackish, which he created.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Shows like The Cosby Show. Shows like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. All that.
Girlfriends.
Love me some girlfriends. Nothing wrong with that.
Same, high class women. Oh yeah.
Love me some Tony.
The three of them were living.
Lynn was broke, but she had good friends.
She had the right friends around her.
She did.
So eventually forced her
level up. to level up. Right? So we need to embrace those shows, and we need to start thinking that there's a correlation between being Black and being poor, and we need to embrace privilege and stop making like it's a bad word. It's not a bad word. It's a great word. And then again, it's a North American mentality, because there's different parts of the world, around the world, where the wealth that Black people have is tremendous.
Girl.
And we just, I could go on and on, but we only got so many minutes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 minutes.
And it's not like this, Atlanta's very used to Black people driving in Bentley.
They're used to having Black billionaires. It's a normal thing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Atlanta is for me, one of the greatest cities to see Black wealth, because every time I look right and left, I see a Maserati, I've seen Bentley, I've seen Maybachs, I see this, I see that, and it's amazing to see. You show up at the club, you show up at the restaurant, people are well dressed, having a great time, own businesses. I think it is amazing. And I applaud that. We need to have more cities like that, where you go into different neighborhoods and all you see are houses with Black people out there having a great time. That is to be applauded. You go into businesses, you go into restaurants, it's Black owned, it's amazing. And we need more of that. And I'm going to be part of that, to build that, to make sure that more of that is available. And call me bougie, call me sush, that's okay.
That's
I'm sitting pretty.
I own it.
I own my boob.
I'm sitting pretty.
I'm not apologizing for my boobs. No,
I'm not apologizing.
No one on this show is apologizing. No.
At all.
All worked too damn hard to apologize.
Not apologize. So say what you want. It is what it is. Anyways, let's do our takeaway before Instagram doesn't want us to be great anymore.
Probably. So I've learned that we've got to look at these shows and actually become inspired to become what we see in art. Let art,
30 seconds.
inspire us.
I've learned that I should embrace who I am and not apologize for what I've acquired in my life, and to forget the haters. If they want to hate, go ahead. I'm still going up. No one, they're not dulling my shine.
There you go. If you don't want to be on the rise up with me, see you later. Thank